Today is the 5th of January 2026. Exactly 3 years and 1 month since I traveled to Afghanistan and I was abducted by the Taliban, accused of being a lead agent of the CIA and ISIS, both. I don't know how they figured this out, but I'm here because today is my first day going back to work. 3 years later. Work for a great company, a big international air carrier, and they back me up all the way. Back up my wife. So I am here today to tell you, do not, and I repeat, do not travel to Afghanistan. Okay? People is falling in the trap of these troglodytes, I call them, because that's what they are. The Taliban, since they took power in August of 2021, they started inviting travelers, people to visit their country because they wanted to be accepted by the international community. I fell for it like many other people, and like all the people that was in jail unjustly, illegally detained in Kabul and in other parts of Afghanistan, not only Kabul. So we fell for it. We're not stupid, we're not idiots. Out of all the people that I was with, I was the only one that had not taken the survival training, either online or virtual in one way or another, or in a classroom. I was the only one that had not taken that, but everybody else kind of like knew. You know, they were either working in Afghanistan or they were working in a secluded part of Kabul, Afghanistan, and they could not go out of their compounds without escort, without security guards, armed and everything. Me, I'm a traveler. I travel solo, and as an anthropologist, because that's what I study on top of my career, I study cultures. I enjoy traveling, and I travel the world. I don't count countries that I visited. Sometimes I think, and I'm like, okay, this is country number whatever, but I'm not counting them and checking them out. So I fell for it because, and I was happy for them because finally the world, after 40, 50 years of struggle and battles, they were being left alone when the U.S. left in that shameful escapade by the Biden administration. You know, they pulled out, and you know, now the Taliban says we kick them out too. We are the graveyard of empires. That's what they think. What happens, in my own humble opinion, they are an ungovernable people. That's what it is. So now, do not travel to Afghanistan because this is like a lottery, okay? Like a flipping a coin. You may go in and leave. You may go in with a tour and be safer than on your own, like myself. But at the end, your freedom hangs in the balance of the mentality, the idiosyncrasy, the small intellect of the next guy in the next checkpoint in Afghanistan. Afghanistan as a country is full of checkpoints. It's a very fortress-like country. Kabul is a fortress city. You would not be able to escape, trust me, because on my captivity, I escaped and I defeated because I could not find a way out. I have to climb back to where they kept me at the last couple months and roll into my bed and call it a defeat. So now you would not be able to escape. Nobody can do anything about it. In my case, for 6 months, my family did not know if I was dead or alive because the Taliban was denying having me. they're savages, okay? You're dealing here with people with very little intellect that either is related to fighters up in the mountains with 0 or 2-3 years of primary education and 1 or 2 or 3 years of madrasa, which is their religious education. That's what you are dealing with. And they have never been outside their mountains, their towns, their villages. They are completely different than you and than me, and then probably the diaspora too. Okay, so you are putting your safety in the balance. There's a place in the Tajikistan side of Afghanistan, if you want to visit Afghanistan. It's a town called Ishkashim. Right now, Tajikistan is in trouble also because of the same kind of situation. But if you are doing the Pamir or you are around the Pamir mountains, you can visit this market town called Ishkashim and go in, leave your passport in the bridge before you cross, and bingo, you can check out, if that's what you are doing, you can check out Afghanistan by doing that without going to actually Afghanistan, even though that is legally Afghanistan. You leave your passport in the bridge, cross the bridge, go into the market town, visit this market town, take some pictures, some video, come back, pick up your passport, and you're back in Tajikistan and you're safe. Do not go to Afghanistan, please. If you don't do it for you, do it for your family. My family suffered. I lost everything I owe up to that point. House, sports car, everything, okay? I lost everything because of that fatidic trip to Afghanistan. They don't want you there. Seriously, they don't want you there. I was in touch with the Taliban. I was able to study them. I was able to trick them into talk to me about culture, religion, customs. They are supposed to be a hospitality country, okay? This fame was earned because of what happened with Osama bin Laden and the subsequent invasion by the US of their country. Because they say, we are a hospitable country and we're not gonna surrender our guest, Osama bin Laden. Well, they got invaded. Well, going back, the hospitality fame is basically, you don't want to follow their hospitality. Trust me, because it is not based on what you and I understand as hospitality. Their hospitality version of hospitality is based on an unwritten book of rules and customs, which is based in their ancestral rules and the Quran. Okay, so it's a set of rules called the let me see, I forgot the name right now. The Pashtun Wali. The Pashtun Wali is the set of rules that they follow, and if you are my guest in my country, Afghanistan, I can open the doors for you and tell you, come and sit right there, but you sit right there and you have to obey me. Come and eat, and you have to come and eat. You cannot just get up and say, okay, I'm gonna take a lick and go to the bathroom. Negative on that. You cannot do your own stuff. You have to follow. Not even leaving is up to you. You leave when your host tells you. And of course, before you come to my house, I gotta hide my women, because you can basically violate them with your eyesight. That is hospitality in Afghanistan. And this is what I learned in Afghanistan. I did not read a book. Yes, I read books in captivity, the history of Afghanistan, written by foreigners and written by Afghans. So I got the two versions. I read all kinds of things about Afghanistan, and I talked to the people that kept me captive for 835 long tedious, horrendous, nightmarish days and their nights. So trust me on this. I get upset when I go on YouTube and I see travelers in what I call the Instagram generation, going places and taking a selfie and say, I've been there, I've been here, I've been there. Well, I've seen lately some videos of people traveling to Afghanistan saying, oh look, this is a Taliban, they're very nice. How you doing? Good, I love you, and I know you love me. No, they don't love you, okay? I got a couple of pictures and I'm gonna share them right here with you, with the Taliban, okay? So they're there, they're suspicious of you because of their ancestral years of history being used by foreign forces and empires since Alexander the Great, then Amir Timur, and then Genghis Khan, and then the Persians, and then the Arabs. And so they've been abused, and one thing they have is untrust and lack of confidence on foreigners. They don't like foreigners. They may show you otherwise, but remember, you gotta buy their merchandise, or you gotta help them one way or another, and that is why they're friendly with you. They don't want. I mean, also the Taliban, according to the same Taliban, talking to them, they admit that they only have about 8% of the people with them. 8% of the population is with them. The rest, they hate it. They hate him. They point them out. My first and only free day in Kabul, Afghanistan, the 5th of December 2022, I remember walking the city, and I remember when I went to buy my airplane ticket to fly to Herat and see that beautiful city that I didn't see and I'm not gonna see, and then make it to Iran and then go back to Turkey where I was living. I saw them coming in to the travel agency across the hallway from my travel agency and beat the crap out of the owner agent and shut down and take down, close his agency. Why? Because he was not giving them more money than what they were requesting. And the guy that was attending me in the travel agency that I bought my ticket, he was complaining about these savages that came down from the mountains and that they were imposing their will on the general population. Okay, this guy was just growing his beard, because if you don't have a beard, you don't have a job in the new Afghanistan under the Taliban. Back then, women were not as restricted as now, but the restrictions are still coming and will keep on coming. And once again, you may want to see that. It's an exotic country, yes, very exotic, very attractive, and that's why I went there, to travel, to see, to talk to the people, to feel the country, to eat their food. But trust me, it is not worth it. Do not go to Afghanistan. They don't want you there. Trust me. 835 days of captivity under the Taliban. I suffered physical abuse, beatings. I cannot say torture like hanging me on chains and stuff like that, but beatings. They put guns on me during the interrogations. They put guns on me here in the back of my neck and on my ribs. So I know what it is. They would open the door of my cage in the middle of the night when I was surrendered, falling asleep, and they would come in with their guns, with their sights, and when I would open my eyes, there would be the laser beams, and they would be shooting at me with no ammo. Click, click, hey George, click, 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 click. You go crazy, trust me. I did about 2.5 months of solitary confinement, and I was borderline with madness. And then the rest of the time I was with different people, with Afghans, which I got us to learn from them the culture. I call this a hardcore cátedra in cultural anthropology in Afghanistan. Do not go to Afghanistan. They don't want you there, and your family will suffer if you go. Thank you. Manana in Afghan, in Pashto.
Another summer day has come and gone away from Paris or Rome, but I wanna go home. Maybe surrounded by a million people, I still feel all alone. Just wanna go home. Oh, I miss you, you know. And I've been keeping all the letters that I wrote to you, each one in line.